I sat in class listening to the first three students as they read out their essays. They were boring, page after page of facts and figures about holes in the ozone layer and how fast the polar ice cap was melting. I mean, hey, we all know the levels of the oceans are rising by a few tenths of an inch every day, or is it every week, whatever, but writing an essay isn't going to save the world. I was drifting off to sleep when I heard my name being called. Dylan Woon, our teacher, Miss Doris repeated. Are you ready to read your essay? I glanced at Tasman, Libra, and Bonnie. Tasman gave me a hopeful smile and a thumbs up sign. The two dogs stared at me as though I were a prisoner on his way to the gallows. I jumped to my feet and picked up the piece of paper I'd covered with scribbles on the bus. I'm ready, Miss Doris, I said. She looked at the single sheet of paper in my hand, her eyebrows knitted in frown. You don't appear to have written very much, Dylan. I hope it is worth our time listening to. So do I blurted out and heard some of my classmates giggling. Miss Doris fixed me with a glare. Well, read it then, she ordered. I cleared my throat, glanced down at what I'd written, and read out loud. Global Warning by Dylan Wong. The class burst out laughing, and Miss Doris looked ready to murder me. My knees were beginning to knock together, but I kept going. Some people think global warming is a joke. Others think it's a disaster waiting to happen. But what nobody has ever considered is the unknown side of the problem. If our planet heats up and if the water rises, mankind faces dangers we cannot even dream about. For example, what if ancient creatures frozen in the last ice age have been sleeping under the polar ice? What if global warming allowed them to thaw out and walk to the earth once more? What if rising seas carried them to countries where they had never seen before? And what if they brought strange diseases with them that devastated our cities? In my opinion, we shouldn't fear global warming because of what we know will happen. It is what we don't know what we should fear. I lowered the piece of paper and looked around. The classroom was deathly quiet. Astonished faces stared back at me wherever I looked. Uh-oh, had my essay been that pathetic? I raised a glance at Miss Doris and couldn't believe my eyes. She was frozen to the spot, her eyes dawdling at me. When at last she spoke, her voice trembled. Dylan Woon, I wouldn't have believed that you could write something so profound. Profound? Profound? What does profound mean? I wondered. Such deep and insightful thinking is rare for someone your age, she went on. Her words hung in air for a moment nobody spoke, then the silence was shattered by the sound of clapping and cheering. Tasman leaped up and gave me a high five. I knew you could do it, man, he whooped. Even Libra and Bonnie looked impressed, especially Libra. I stood there, basking in all the applause. Everyone thought I'd been so clever. I thought I'd been clever too. My wild imagination had come to my rescue, but the truth was very different. What I didn't know was that while everyone was congratulating me, I was being observed. Even a sudden drip of ice water down the back of my neck didn't make me look up.